Hello, friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. We've got a great topic outlined just for you. And the reason I really like it is because when I find that I'm working with you, many of you are buying Microsoft Word for maybe $70 a year and maybe just using 5% of it when you could be using Google Docs for free. And that's what we're talking about today. All the uses of Google Docs. I want to create some awareness about what's available to you besides using Microsoft Word. And the other thing that I've noticed when I'm working with you is that when you want to share a document with a friend, there's sometimes issues. They can't open your document, they can't open your attachment because they're maybe using a different version that's no longer supported, or you're using an older version, or yours is just for Mac and theirs is just for PC, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I hear this all the time. And that's another reason why we are talking about Google Docs today. Now, if this is your first time joining me, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Abbie Ritchie, and I am the founder of Senior Savvy. And I started this company about 5 years ago. I'm also a course creator, and I like to consider myself daughter of many because all of you are just wonderful folks, and I love to get to know you. And I'm so grateful to be in the presence of lifelong learners. Now, today we're going to talk about Google Docs, creating a doc, some of the most common tasks, how to do a little bit more for my more advanced people, and collaborating and sharing as well as some extras. So first, let me tell you about Google Docs. But first, I got to tell you up front, this is a very academic class, all right? What that means is that it's a lot of information. It's not a lot of touchy-feely stuff. This is information I've got to teach you and share with you. And so it's a little different than my regular classes, but it's still really topical and really important for you to break the ice on Google Docs and start using it instead of paying for Microsoft Word when you're barely using it, okay? So this is very academic. And if that's not your speed, I totally get it. This is maybe a 1 or 2% of my classes are like this. All the rest of them, a little lighter, a little fluffier. But if you want to learn today about Google Docs, you're in the right place. All right. So Google Docs is a word processing program like Word, but this one's free. It's cross-platform, okay? You can use it on an Android, on an Apple device, on a Chrome. It doesn't matter because everyone has access to it, and that's the beauty of it. And it's completely accessible on the internet. And what that means is that you don't have to be using a little flash drive to put your documents on and then take it to another computer or travel or something like that. Everything on Google Docs is accessible on the internet. So how is it used? Well, you need to create a free Google account. If you're on an Android device, you've already created one. If you have a Gmail account, you already have a Google account, okay? And if you're not sure, you can go to docs.google.com and see for yourself right then and there. All right, next, here's some of the benefits. One of the benefits is that Google Docs has this revision history of any changes that you made, even when you were sharing with someone. Maybe you're collaborating with a committee head or a co-committee lead, and you both want to work on the same document at the same time and make comments in it. You can do that. And again, everything is stored online as opposed to on a flash drive that you got to carry with you, all right? So Google Docs versus Microsoft Word. Well, Google Docs is a free web-based application. You can store everything online or offline or both. And you can collaborate in real time at the same time with someone else. You know, I'm not against Word. I use Word. A lot of people use Word. But if you don't have to pay for it, you shouldn't have to pay for it to write up a document. And I know you're not writing many documents these days. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. So when you go ahead and you start creating a document, you're going to go to your Google Drive. The Google Drive is the storage area of your Google account. And here you're going to select Google Docs. So you're in your Google Drive, then you're going to go to Google Docs, and then you're going to do New. And now this is actually really similar to the way a Microsoft Word document looks. In fact, I can barely tell the difference anymore, how they're different. Okay, but here is a difference. Every time you open up a new document or you start a new document, you open a new browsing tab. Will open right next to the last one. You can create 8, 10, 12, 15 documents all at the same time and toggle between them if you want to. It just opens up another browsing tab because you're doing this on the internet. All right. So new file, new tab. Everything gets automatically saved. It does it without you even realizing it. There's no save button. Now I know if you're like me and you've gotten bitten in the butt a couple times because you've forgotten to save something in the olden days, and what a nightmare that was. And I'm sure I'm like a chronic saver, but I don't have to do that anymore because this is saving for me automatically. Also, you can upload files to your Google Drive, photos. You can upload Microsoft Office Word files, PDFs. You can upload all of those to your Google Drive. This is not just for docs, all right? And you can convert a Word file. You can convert a PDF to a Google Doc. You can. And I can show you privately how to do that. I want you to note my email address is at the bottom of every slide. And at the end of the slideshow, I'm going to show you how to connect with me if you need help with that. So when you're converting files, you're going to go ahead and open it up with the Google Docs. That's the format. I know you've seen this before when you go to open up someone's file and you can't open and then it asks you what application. You want to use Google Docs. And then it will convert itself into a Google Doc. When you open it up, it opens up a new browser tab. And next, you want to go ahead and click on the little gear, and that will convert your file for you, okay? Again, you need some help with me showing you this, it's totally fine. Feel free to reach out with me. Now, the Google Docs interface is actually quite similar to Microsoft Word. In fact, like I told you earlier, I barely even noticed the difference. You may not as well. But what I wanted to point out to you are a couple of things here. You're always going to have the name of your document right up top. And typically what happens is Google Doc inserts the first couple of words that you type in your document as the name of the document. You can always change it if you want to. Next, you're going to see that there's a little star. And there are times where I star my documents because I want to be able to find them easily next time. You'll see that there's the same type of formatting and font and color and all that wonderful stuff. And in the page, when you want to set up your page, you're going to go to File. You can go to Page Setup. You can change it from landscape to portrait. You can also set your margins there. Yes, you can do that. I know how much you love your margins and how much you love to tab and set that all up just like it's a typewriter. You can definitely do that in Google Docs. Now let's break down some of the common tasks. Just like in Microsoft Word, you can copy and paste, Control X, Control V. These are all really good keyboard commands for you to use. But you can also go up to Edit, scroll down, undo, redo, cut, copy, paste. You could do all that as well. Google Docs also has a spell checker in there. And one thing it will do is it will suggest words and suggest changes for you. You can also find and replace certain words or names. For instance, let's say your committee changed name from the garden committee to the horticultural community. And you don't want to have to go through and look for every single time that you wrote garden. You could just search for garden and then replace it with the word you want to replace it with. And here's another screen of how you can find and replace. There's a little dialogue in Google Docs. So if you want to change Mrs. Smith, and she's now Mrs. Jones, you could do that as well by finding and searching by names. There's also a significant amount of formatting tools in here, bullets and numbers and columns and line spacing. And I know you all love to have a certain amount of indent when you're starting a new paragraph, and you can do that in Google Docs. Now, for those of you who are just typing up a storm all the time, I want to teach you a couple of things that you can do in Google Docs. You can insert an image. That's right. When you click on image, you do insert and then image. You can upload an image from the computer, from the internet, from your photos, or with a link. You can also edit the image that you insert. So if you want it to be smaller, you can just take the corners and reduce it a little bit. You can format columns if you want to. And if you're working with large documents that can be challenging, you can use a smaller formatting in order to make it easier to see. You can choose your own font. There are hundreds. You can even import more. Now, I want to show you how to collaborate and teach and share. So let's just say that there are various sharing options. There are folders that you just want to keep private. There are ones that you will let others edit, documents you'll let others edit. There are ones that you'll share with a group of people publicly, but you don't want them to edit it. And so there are some variations here just based on your comfort level, how much you want to share. Now, oftentimes, if I'm working on a document and I want to share it with someone else, I have to manage the access and give them permission and allow anyone with the link to go ahead and edit it. One really neat thing that you can do in Google Docs is while you are making edits to a document, you can do this in real time with someone also, say, over the phone. And they can type in their edits, you could type in your edits, and you could track them all. Well, here are a couple of other things I want to share with you. If you're big on using your phone for everything, like my mom is, and you want to use the Google Docs mobile app, you can definitely use it. It will have all the same formatting in there, plus you can access all of your documents from your phone. You can also select voice typing, and a lot of my students love this, especially if you've gotten really familiar with using a digital assistant. And so you can select voice typing and just dictate away, especially if you've got a memoir or something really long to write out. And again, because I know you love your margins, you can set your margins however you want to. Now I'm going to answer some of your questions right now. And the first one here is, can I save a Pages doc as a Google Doc? And the answer is yes, you can do that. So if someone sends you a Pages doc, and Pages is the Mac equivalent to Microsoft Word, someone sends that to you, you can open it up and then save it as a Google Doc. And this way you can share it with anyone and anyone else can open it up. Next, can you share a read-only file? Yes, you can. In fact, if you only want someone just to read your document, but you don't want their edits on there, then you would restrict their access and make it a read-only file. And can you email a document as an attachment? Absolutely. In fact, you can do this directly from Google Docs. You don't have to take the document, save it on your desktop or in a folder. You can go to File, scroll down to Email as Attachment, and send it that way. What else? Can you save a Google Doc as a PDF? Absolutely. 2 thumbs up. When you're going to save the document, you can choose PDF right then or there, or even Microsoft Word. Now, I just want to congratulate you all for joining me today. I know this was a rather academic class. I get it. And hats off to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me. I am on Facebook. I love to hear from you. If you need help with your passwords, I've got a great class that you can take. And if you want more, you can always find me on YouTube. Here's my phone number and my email address. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. And I just wanted to say it's been an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.